Have you ever wondered whether your body is functioning normally in a sexual sense? Or have you ever thought about why your relationship with your partner isn't the same as it used to be? Or maybe you've questioned whether the amount of masturbation you do is normal and what its effects are on your hormones, testosterone, and sexual health in general. And even more importantly, have you ever thought about what watching porn does to your physical and mental health? You've probably had all these questions, but never received proper answers for them. There's someone who can really help with that. Dr. Rena Malik. Dr. Malik is a urologist, a specialist in surgery and medicine of the urinary and reproductive system. And in recent years, she has become well known for the content she creates about sexual health. She has been working on sexual health and public education for more than 10 years, and her YouTube channel has millions of viewers. In one of her interviews, she answers some of the most common questions we all have about our sexual health. Questions we've usually never gotten correct answers to. We watched that interview, and in this video, we want to explain, in simple language, everything we learned from her and all the points she discusses. But before getting into those ideas and deepening our understanding of sexual health, I need to tell you the story of Dr. Malik herself. What made her interested in creating clear and direct content about sexual topics on YouTube in the first place? She explains. From the time she was a medical student, she noticed something very important. There was a huge gap between what people think they know about sexual health and what the real, accurate information actually is. This gap led her to start a YouTube channel and address the common questions people have. Basically, her whole point is that we've never been properly educated about sexual health. And because of the nature of these topics, people usually don't ask questions. If they have a problem, they often don't talk about it at all. And this silence causes people to have a lot of stress about sexual issues, and they really need correct information. Everything we're going to talk about revolves around this idea. The first point she makes is that the information people think they have is not real. Why not? Most people who come to her with sexual problems and high levels of stress feel that way because their expectations are unrealistic. She says our earliest source of information about sexual performance usually comes from movies and TV shows, or from misinformation we've heard somewhere. This creates a distorted image of what healthy sexual function looks like, leading people to expect too much. For example, she says a lot of things are actually very normal. Many men may occasionally experience erectile difficulties, but what we see in movies is that when two people decide to have sex, everything happens romantically and perfectly. Their bodies respond instantly. Arousal happens exactly on time. Both people reach orgasm smoothly, and both enjoy it fully. But reality isn't like that. Very often men experience erectile issues due to stress, physical conditions, fatigue, or many other factors. And having this problem once or twice doesn't mean you have a serious sexual dysfunction. If it becomes frequent, then you should see a doctor for proper evaluation. But having it happen a couple of times doesn't mean the world is ending. She also talks about female orgasm and explains that people actually know very little about it. She says when you look at sexual health research, you'll see that the number of studies done on women's orgasms is much lower compared to studies on men. And the image we have of women's orgasms is usually very unrealistic. Why? Because the process tends to be longer, and more complex than it is for men. It might not happen at all, and men need to know this. Women also need to know this and talk about it openly. She says it's nothing like what you see in movies where orgasm happens quickly. Women usually need foreplay, which we'll talk about in detail later. It takes more time for women to reach orgasm, and all of this is completely normal. If you'd like, you can also share your thoughts and experiences about these topics in the comments. Another interesting point she brings up is that couples often look at other couples and assume they're having way more sex. She says people usually overestimate how often others have sex. Someone might look at their friend and their partner and think, these two probably have sex every day, every hour, while they themselves only have sex once a week or once every 2 weeks. This is one of the traps people fall into. But those other couples are probably looking at you and thinking the same thing. Overall studies show that, on average, couples have sex once a week. Of course, this depends on how long they've been together and what stage of the relationship they're in. If you want a standard for evaluating the health of your sex life, you shouldn't focus only on frequency. You also need to look at the quality of your sexual experiences. If you're going to worry about something, worry about the quality, not the number. Many couples have completely healthy sex lives and may only have sex once a month, but that one time is a genuinely good experience. Another topic she covers is pain during sex, which especially affects women. There's a common misconception among many women who think this pain is normal and just part of it. But pain during sex, especially if it's frequent or intense, is not normal, and you should do something about it. Most of the time, the reason is that the lubrication needed to make the process comfortable hasn't happened enough yet. This usually means you need lubricants or foreplay. So, what is foreplay in simple terms? She says that for women, before penetration happens, they typically need about 18 to 20 minutes of connection, which can take different forms. She tells men, before you start penetration and begin sexual activity, you need to understand that a woman needs time for her body to get ready. That's what makes the sexual experience smooth and enjoyable. This helps both partners enjoy sex more and prevents discomfort so that the sexual relationship can continue in a healthy way. And if you're doing all of this and there is still pain, then you need to see a doctor and talk about it to understand what can be done. Another major issue she talks about is not communicating with your partner about sexual matters. As a side note, not only Dr. Malik, but many other specialists emphasize the same point. If you want to have a healthy, high-quality sex life, you need to talk to your partner about it. In simple terms, you should explain things to your partner. For example, I don't really like it when you do that. We'll talk later about how to say this in the right way. Or you might say, I prefer doing this, or I don't enjoy that. Many relationships go on for years with an unresolved issue that could have been fixed simply by talking about it. Because it wasn't talked about, it eventually leads to more serious problems. She encourages people to express themselves and to listen without getting defensive. Don't get emotional or upset right away. The idea is to have an ongoing conversation with your partner focused on improving the quality of your sexual relationship so that the relationship can continue in a healthy way. Now, how do you actually bring up an issue? Don't say it right before sex. Don't say it in the bedroom 5 minutes before you're about to have sex. Don't suddenly say something like, "Hey, that thing you do is terrible, I hate it." Avoid using you statements. Instead, use I statements. I prefer this. I enjoy it more when, which makes your partner more open and makes the conversation smoother. She adds that this should be a continuous conversation, not something you talk about once and expect everything to be solved forever. If you're in a long-term relationship and want it to last, you need to keep having ongoing discussions about your sexual relationship. Another important topic she discusses, which is a recurring theme in a lot of her interviews, is pelvic floor muscles. What are pelvic floor muscles? People rarely talk about them. The pelvic floor is a bowl-shaped group of muscles located in the pelvis, and they're essential for urination, bowel movements, orgasm, and sexual function. But many men don't even know they have pelvic floor muscles. Dr. Malik says pelvic floor muscles have a much bigger impact on our sexual health than most people think. But we don't know what they are or what we're supposed to do with them. Are there exercises that help strengthen them? What exercises should we do so they stay healthy and improve our sexual function and overall physical function? She says that 50% of men who experience erectile dysfunction previously had pelvic floor problems. When the pelvic floor is too tight, the blood vessels that supply blood to the penis can't work properly. Sitting for long periods every day prevents the pelvic floor from naturally relaxing and contracting, which leads to many sexual problems. Most pelvic floor issues come from the muscles being too loose, and sometimes from being too tight. There are exercises you can do, such as Kegel exercises. You can search for them, but before doing any exercises, you need to understand what your actual issue is. Is your pelvic floor too tight or too loose? You need to know that first, so you can follow the right exercises. Another topic she talks about, something we hear everywhere these days, is testosterone and its relationship to masturbation. People say men's testosterone levels have dropped and that men have become princesses. Dr. Malik says it's true that testosterone levels have gone down. Over the last 50 years, sperm count has decreased by about 50%, and testosterone levels have also dropped significantly. One of the main reasons for this is that society has become more sedentary. People move far less than they used to. Metabolic diseases have increased significantly, and our environment is now filled with microplastics and chemicals that severely disrupt the hormonal system. So, what solutions does she recommend? First, she suggests natural approaches. She says sleep is extremely important, one of the biggest factors affecting overall health. In addition to that, physical activity and weight training are essential. Being physically active matters a lot. Sitting for long periods, spending your day behind a desk, has a negative impact. She also recommends avoiding drinking water from plastic bottles, heating food only in glass containers, and not keeping your phone close to your testicles because it generates heat. From here, she moves on to another major topic, masturbation. Dr. Malik says there are several myths about masturbation that have no scientific foundation, and everyone should be aware of them. The first thing she discusses is the relationship between masturbation and testosterone levels. She says a few studies show that masturbation lowers testosterone, but those studies don't have a reliable enough sample size to conclude that masturbation significantly reduces testosterone. Then she discusses the frequency of masturbation and whether it's harmful and what amount is considered normal. She makes a very important point. If masturbation is disrupting your daily life, meaning you can't stick to your schedule, you skip work, you avoid studying, or you choose masturbation instead of having sex with your partner, then you need to address it. A reasonable amount of masturbation, as long as it doesn't interfere with your life, is normal and nothing to worry about. It doesn't harm the body nearly as much as people assume. However, masturbation and pornography consumption are two completely different issues. Next, she talks about the clitoris and female orgasm. There's a huge lack of understanding, especially among men, about how women reach orgasm. Most men don't know what the clitoris is, where it is, how it works, or how important it is. The clitoris is like the male penis, just as sensitive and very important. 85% of women need clitoral stimulation to reach orgasm. Many women cannot reach orgasm from vaginal penetration alone. Men need to know this. Foreplay and the use of lubricants are important, and men need to understand how to stimulate the clitoris to help their partner reach orgasm. This is crucial. The easiest and most reliable path to a woman's orgasm is clitoral stimulation, which typically cannot be achieved through regular penetration alone. It requires specific attention. She then addresses another common question. How long should sex naturally last? She explains that there are many misconceptions around this. She refers to studies where researchers used stopwatches to measure the time from penetration to male orgasm. The results show that it typically lasts between 5.1 and 5.7 minutes. Women tend to want the whole experience, including foreplay, to last between 18 and 25 minutes. For men overall, the average desired duration is around 12 to 16 minutes. An important point she makes is that men usually reach orgasm faster than women, and men need to understand how essential foreplay is for women. She explains that if sex is centered only around the man's orgasm, it can create many problems. Over time, the woman may lose interest, the quality of the relationship drops, and eventually even the man won't enjoy it as much. Then she moves on to porn and its impact on sexual health. These days, porn is everywhere, and traffic to porn sites is skyrocketing. With AI, especially now that OpenAI is adding adult content, people worry about what will happen to real relationships if porn and AI-generated content replace human connection. She shares several important points about this, especially about the impact of porn on teenagers. Porn does have negative effects on adults, but not as severe as we often assume if the person already has a healthy sex life. But when it comes to teenagers and young adults, the damage can be much greater. Why? Because first of all, porn is extremely easy to access. A teenager who should be learning how to approach someone, overcome fear, send a message, build a healthy relationship, and take real steps forward might instead just watch porn. They'll think, why bother? This is easier. This can lead to losing interest in real people and avoiding real romantic or sexual relationships. On top of that, when someone is exposed to porn from a young age, they develop expectations that will almost certainly not be met in normal relationships. This makes it harder and harder for them to stay in a relationship over time because their expectations become unrealistic. That's why she emphasizes that porn affects teenagers far more negatively than we tend to realize. She also quotes a sentence from Andrew Huberman that fits this topic perfectly. Any dopamine and any pleasure you get without effort will cost you later. If we don't put effort into the source of our pleasure, it will eventually come back to hurt us. The interview also discusses trauma and its effect on sexual health. Many people have experienced trauma, and it can deeply affect their sexual well-being. But talking about trauma is difficult even in normal conditions, and when sexual issues get mixed in, it becomes even harder. Trauma can strongly influence sexual health. The body remembers, even if the mind doesn't. Many people with a tight pelvic floor and many related problems actually struggle with unresolved trauma. Dr. Malik says, the most helpful thing you can do is talk about it. As long as you keep it inside and never speak about it, it will only get worse. The moment you express it and say, I need help, you're already helping yourself. Now, let's summarize everything. And this part is very important. Sexual health is a part of overall health. These two cannot be separated. We need better sex education in schools and in society. Communication is the key. We must learn how to talk about sex. There is no normal number. What matters is what works for you. If you have a problem, don't feel ashamed. Seek help. One last note. Summaries can never replace the original version. I hope this video was helpful. There's a free way to support me and my work, simply by liking this video, leaving a comment, and sharing it with your friends. We have lots of videos like this on our channel, so after this one, go watch the next video. I'm sure you won't regret it. Thanks for watching the video all the way to the end.